Odinusa. Revelation 12:2 reads, "She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth." Much issue is made with the term used for birth pains, being the Greek odinusa. Whether or not this passage eliminates the possibility that if this verse is indeed referring to Mary, that she was not immaculately conceived since she suffered birth pains as a result of sin. This is the argument that is usually put forth. Again, the term used for pangs of birth in Revelation 12:2 is the Greek word odinusa, from odinu. And in order to really look and in order to really uncover what is being talked about here, we've got to delve into the biblical text, and we've got to delve into what the early church fathers say just about this passage in particular. When the great John of Patmos wrote this passage, was he talking about Mary being in pain as a result of her carrying the stain of original sin? Does the word necessitate such an interpretation, or is there another viable view? Now, one thing we have to be very careful with, and we have to be clearly honest about, is that Revelation 12:2 is viewed as Mariological, but at times also viewed as being in reference to the church. And there is no problem with that at all. But when Revelation 12 is Mariological, what is the interpretation of the pains of birth of the Greek odinusa? Galatians 4:19, we can get a very clear view on how the Greek term is used. "My children, from whom I am again in labor." The word odinu is found here, and the labor pain being felt by Paul here is a figurative pain, not a literal pain. The exact word found in Revelation 12, found in Galatians 4:19, is being used in a figurative manner. Galatians 4:27, the exact word is used for travails. And you can see that this is not necessarily referring to actual physical pain that a woman is going through. There are other pains that a woman endures rather than actual physical pain. This particular term, in fact, shows us this very fact, this particular word used in the Greek. And I would argue, were the early church, when they viewed this in a Mariological manner, that the woman is Mary without a doubt, but that an examination of the Greek word after the conjunction kai shows us that she is not only in mental pain and anguish, but in torment. Again, we have to be clear, it is a very viable viewpoint and interpretation to view Revelation 12:2 being Mariological, the woman going through mental pain but not physical pain. I think it ties in well with the usage of odinusa that appears in other passages in the Greek Bible. What Oikoumenios tells us, "And she was with child. She cried out in pangs of birth in anguish for delivery." She cried out in pangs of birth in anguish for delivery. What is said is not contradictory. According to the rules of figurative language, he calls a faint-heartedness and sorrow a crying out and anguish. Figurative language, nor is this unusual.